everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be showing you my PS4 collection. I figured I'd make a PS4 collection video only because I'm kind of done collecting for it. I don't really have that many more PS4 games that I want. There might be the odd one now and then over the years that I end up picking up, but overall, I'd say my collection is pretty much done because the PS5 is out. I have that. Now I'm buying for that system, and I'm just happy with what I have for PS4. Without further ado, let's take a look. So let's start the video off in alphabetical order with Blue Reflection. Now, I have the PAL version because this game got really popular a couple years ago because I guess the sequel was coming out and it just resurfaced again, even though it was not popular to start out with. I actually love the game. I ended up getting it from eBay, which is why I got a PAL version because they hadn't done reprints yet, and I was freaking out like, oh no, like I better try and get it. So I actually got it for a good price. I think it was like 60 bucks or something. So to me, it was like, I bought it new in a sense. It was used, but nothing, you know, I wasn't spending like 150 bucks on it or something like that. But this game, I highly recommend. Really good. The second one is more polished. It's better. It's way longer. But the first game is great, and I do think you should start with it. Highly recommended. It's a great JRPG. It's magical girls, modern day setting, kind of different. So I really recommend it. It's good. Next we have Detroit Become Human. Now, this is a visual novel style point and click kind of game where you're walking around, interacting with objects, interacting with other people, and it's very, very cinematic. Really good. I highly recommend it. I loved the entire game. You play as different androids. It was just fantastic. There are 3 stories that kind of blend and mesh together, and it's just a really good story, and I loved every minute of it. Next up is one of my husband's games, and that is Dirt Rally. Not a game that is for me. It's a game in my collection, so here it is, and I'm showing it to you. Another one of my husband's games, that is Farming Simulator 19. Ironically, this should probably be my son's game, because if he was old enough to play video games, he would freak with this. But, you know, this is in my collection, and I don't think my husband's actually played it, and it was kind of a joke stocking gift, but yeah, this is just sitting in here, and yeah. Back to my games. So we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this is fantastic. I switched the cover. If you flip it inside out, you get this black cover, and I think it looks better. But one of my favorite games of all time. So obviously one of my favorite PS4 games. It's phenomenal. It really made me like Final Fantasy VII a lot more than when I just played the normal PS1 version. And yeah, it's really, really good. Because it's so cinematic and it's, you know, new and modern, I found that you connect with the characters just a little bit more. So really, really good game. Highly recommend it. Cannot wait for Rebirth. And of course, we have Final Fantasy 15. Not a favorite of mine. I was pretty excited for this when it came out, and it really let me down. I was pretty bored. I am not a fan of having to do a bunch of things before you play a game. If I buy this, I should be able to just play it. If there's a story or, you know, some obscure thing I have to do or read or watch before, not cool, really rude, and I'm not a huge fan of that. And here's the deal. If there is something I have to watch, give me like a recap or something. Like, I don't know. I'm just not happy with it. I kind of want to replay it because I haven't played it since it came out. But it really was not for me. This is a game that was sent to me and I haven't played it yet, but it does look ridiculous. Might be worth like a first impressions maybe, I don't know. But that is Galgun 2. It looks really silly and very inappropriate in a funny fan servicey way. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to this, but we'll see. Here's a game that I actually got last year and I really want to get to it because of the new one that came out, and that is God of War. I know there's the originals, but I've heard you can start with this one. It's fine. I really want to get to it. For real, I don't care that it's greatest hits or whatever. I really, really just want to check out God of War because Ragnarok looks really good. Everyone said it was awesome. So, yes, this is actually on my list of games to play this year, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe early next year, but I legitimately want to get to it because it does look really good and it looks like it has a great story. Next up is another one of my husband's games, and that is Gran Turismo Sport. Not for me, and you know what, not even for him as much, because he's more of a Forza person, so I don't know, Forza Horizon specifically, they just seem more fun, but I do have this, and it is on the shelf. Okay, here's a good game that I actually just beat this year, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. This was really good. I actually beat it on PS5 because there is a free upgrade, so I do consider it a PS5 game that I played because I did technically play it on my PS5 as the PS5 version. Nonetheless, I do have it physically for PS4, and I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. It's actually a really good story more and more as it goes on. I was like, oh, this is good. And then it got really, really interesting and really, emotional and heartfelt. So I highly recommend it. It's really fun. The gameplay is maybe the weaker point of it, but other than that, it is actually like solid. Some of the best voice acting I've actually ever heard in gaming. Here's a game that I haven't played yet, sort of because it's related to Yakuza, and I'm sort of Yakuza'd out in a way, but that is Judgment, and it's one I want to get to because I know there's a sequel to this, but man, there are like a million Yakuza games, and so I kind of usually play one a year. I know it's from the perspective of the police, but I gotta get to it, and I gotta just find that moment where I want to get to it, because this looks so good. I've only heard great things, and because it's part of that franchise, which is arguably one of my favorite franchises of all time, I know I need to get to it. So yes, you can hold me accountable and tell me to play this, because it's one of the ones I have on here that I haven't played that are like high on the priority list. So this is the grossest game in my collection because it's from GameStop and looks like this. Ew, disgusting. It should be thrown out. But that's Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5. Here's the deal with Kingdom Hearts. I've tried it so many times and I can't get into it, but I'm going to give it one more chance. 100% I will. I'm going to give it one more chance. And I bought this because I was like, oh, great way to play it, whatever. And then I looked at it and I was like, ew, that's disgusting, but I guess I could print a cover. So that's why I did it. Whatever. This is ew. Anyway, it's disgusting, but I want to give it another chance. Kingdom Hearts confuses the heck out of me. Like, there's so many different things going on. Part of me is like, can't I just play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3? Please. Enlighten me if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, and tell me, because I'm just telling you right now, I don't think I can commit to like 3DS games and random other things that are like, no, it's not happening. But I'm willing to give the first game a try. I seriously am, because I've tried it so many times. It was the first game I bought for PS2 because I rented it years ago and it looked like Final Fantasy, and I was on such this like huge high from Final Fantasy X, and I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then it got to like the Disney aspect and I was like, oh, and I was just not feeling it. I was like, I don't know if I want to play like Alice in Wonderland. This is kind of not for me, but I'm going to give it another chance. I'm going to give it one more chance because it's so popular, and maybe it's me. I'm clearly missing out on something. Please enlighten me and help me like Kingdom Hearts. Here are two in a series. One I've beat, one I haven't beat. First one is The Last of Us Remastered. This is great. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. I got it on PS3, never finished it years ago, and then decided to give it another chance. And yay, I liked it. It was actually really good. I liked it for reasons maybe I didn't expect. But I found it to be kind of surprising, and it didn't end the way I thought it would, and that was exciting to me because I always like surprises. And I just found it heartfelt and really good. It was exciting and kind of good post-apocalyptic game. It was great. So no complaints here. This is definitely solid. And then I've also got, because I liked it so much, The Last of Us Part 2, which I have not played and is on my list of games to play this year, but alas, the backlog grows and grows, and I have not gotten to this. So yeah, I know it's supposed to be awesome, and I'm trying to get to it. Another two here that I'm excited for the third. So the first one is obviously Marvel's Spider-Man. This is really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's just a really good game. This is fantastic, whether you like Spider-Man or not. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, like obsessed. And yeah, this is really, really top-notch superhero game time. I loved it. And then, of course, I liked that, so then I had to get the Miles Morales game. So Spider-Man Miles Morales, where you play as Miles, which is awesome. And so the second one is going to have Miles and Peter, and I can say, yeah, beat both of these. They're really good. I love them. I would like to see more Marvel games like this because the Guardians of the Galaxy game was great. The Spider-Man ones are even better, and it'd be neat to get some more games that are kind of at this caliber. So yeah, check these out if you haven't. They are really good. It's a husband game, and that is Mud Runner, a Spin Tires game, and wow, this is so un-me, it's unbelievable. He used to play this all the time, he still sometimes does, and I swear, you're like a logging truck in Russia. Like, this is, to me, it's the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life, but he likes highly realistic simulators. So, like Animal Crossing wouldn't be his thing, because it's like a cutesy little sim. He likes, like, you know, like if it was like a highly realistic flight simulator, or apparently logging trucks. I don't get it. I'm so confused. It's just not my style of game. Here's a game that I actually tried maybe like 5 years ago, and I just didn't get into it. But again, I will give it another shot, because too many people hold this game as like the best thing ever, and I just feel like maybe I'm missing out. Am I missing out on something here? That's Nier Automata. I don't know what's going on. I bought this because I was like, oh man, this literally just looks like something I'm into. Androids, creepy stuff, like, you know, she's kind of sexy. I like interesting characters like that. And I was just like, and then turned it off and never played it ever again. So, my bad, but again, explain to me why I should like this game and why I should give it another chance, and maybe I will. Here's one of my favorite games of all time. It's so long, and I have issues still, but I just love it for many reasons, and that is Persona 5 Royal. Oh my god. Great game right here. Excellent. I hate the social stuff in Persona, but I let a lot of it slide because the characters are so interesting, the story was really fun, the music beyond phenomenal, one of the best scores ever in gaming, and just a really fun time overall. I love this game. It's great. I love it more than 4. I know some people like Persona 4 Golden more, but I loved Royal. I just loved Persona 5. It's great. Just one of the best games of all time. It took me, I think, 101 hours, which is ridiculous, and I played it, obviously, it wasn't portable. I played it on the PS4, and yeah, that's too long for me personally, but despite that, it's one of my faves. Husband game time! That is Project Cars 2. I don't know, I don't think he really plays this that often. It wasn't a favorite, but it is a game that sits on my shelf, so I present it to you. Next, we have one of my husband's games, but it is a really cool game, I will admit that. It's just probably not one I'm going to commit to. It's his, and I just don't care. But that is Red Dead Redemption 2. I do have the first one. I gave it a chance years ago. I never beat it, but I definitely put a lot of hours into it, and it was really good. But again, these big sort of sandbox Rockstar games I used to like when I was younger, and I've sort of grown out of them. They're just not for me, but I do highly respect this. It looks like a really cool game. He started this not that long ago, and because he doesn't play games as much as me, I don't know when he's gonna ever beat it, but it does look really cool. A favorite of mine, and that is Sakura Wars. Oh my god, one of my favorite games of all time. Completely shocked me. I had no idea I would like it this much. Holy crap, it's so good. I really like this game. The music, the animation, the characters, the story, it was so over-the-top goofy anime, and I really liked that, and it was charming, and yeah, there's like a dating sim element to it, but it didn't matter. It was so fun, and I was like really giddy about it. I really like this game, and I recommend it to everybody. This is not like just girls should play this or whatever. I mean, you play a guy, so it's not like it's really directed towards women, but I don't even know what it is. I just know that it's really good. The music is awesome. I just absolutely loved it. Here's one that I really want to play, actually because I like Yakuza, so it's Shenmue 1 and 2, and yeah, this game looks really dated and really cheesy, but I feel like that's the appeal, and you gotta go in knowing that, but I haven't fully committed to it yet, so unfortunately, I have not played it, but I would like to one day for real. None of these games that I haven't played, they're not there because I just want them. They're there because I want to play them for real. So yeah, this looks really bad in terms of voice acting, but it's so culty that I feel like I need to experience it. More doom and gloom logging truck games for my husband, and that is SnowRunner. And again, it is very similar to Mud Runner. However, it is winter time now, and so even more gloomy. You are now a big truck with like logs or whatever, and you are now traversing the gorgeous, snowy landscape of like, I don't know. One of them's Russia, one of them's North America. I think this one might be... Jeez, I don't know. Don't take my word for it, but if you like Sims, it's probably up your alley. It's just not my thing. Here's an excellent one. Absolutely love this. And this is South Park, The Fractured But Whole. And, yeah, this is fantastic. It's so good. It's a strategy RPG, and it's South Park. What more can you ask for? I always say these games have, like, the best graphics out there because they just look like the cartoon. So they're doing what they're supposed to achieve. Obviously you play games and you're like, it looks realistic, but it's obviously not real. These look exactly like what they're trying to be, and so to me, that's 100% success. You literally are playing a South Park cartoon, and it looks just like that. It's not like, the N64 South Park game. This is like, it's so much fun. It's probably worse in terms of, like, profanity than the show, because they can get away with more here, and yeah, it's definitely, if you are offended, don't play these, but then if you're offended, why are you playing a South Park game? So, if you like South Park and you haven't played any of them, definitely play them both. They're not related, so you could start off with the other one, The Stick of Truth, which I played on the PS3. It's great, and you can get it now on, like, modern consoles. But this is really, really good, and I absolutely loved it because they're superheroes, and it was just really fun. Here's a platformer, finally, because I don't really have platformers for the PS4. This is Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, and I actually tried this a couple years ago, and I was, like, kind of into it, and then I don't know, I was like too pregnant and not feeling it, and then I just put it down. So I need to check this out again because I think I would like it. It really gives me those like N64, PS1 vibes. Yes, I'm aware it's a PS1 game. I just mean like I love those old school like 3D platformers sometimes as opposed to side-scrolling. They're fun. They make me think of my childhood. But I don't know, for some reason it didn't like grab me instantly, but I'm definitely like, want to give it another shot because there's 3 games on here and they're Spyro. They're supposed to be really good, so I'll definitely give this another whirl at some point, but I mean, realistically, I'm not sure when that's going to be, but it is here for me when I want it to be. Here's a game that I have for PS4, but because it comes with a PS5 upgrade, I will be doing that, and that is Tales of Arise. And I was actually just debating the other, couple days ago, which game I was going to play next, and I ended up going with something else. But this was my second choice, so maybe I will get to this year or early next year. I'm trying. It's on my list of games to play, and I've heard from people that it's kind of an oddity in the Tales series, because I don't really like the Tales series. I've played 2 so far, and I've found them to just be very so-so. They're just very okay. And then everyone's like, no, Arise is different. So I hope that's true, and I'd like to give it a try because it does look really, really good. So if that's true, please tell me because I want to enjoy it. I want to find a Tales game. I don't like it when I don't enjoy something. But if you must know, I don't like Tales of Vesperia. I beat it. I just didn't like it. I found it actually really boring. Gorgeous, but really boring. And then I recently just played Tales of Symphonia, and I thought it was just okay. I thought it was just so-so. So, it started off really strong, and then it got kind of boring. So, that's my deal with Tales. They get boring. So, maybe I'm nuts, but that's my take on Tales. Here's a game that was sent to me that I actually still haven't played, but it actually looks really cool because I was looking it up and I thought, that actually kind of looks fun. So, and it does say 2 to 6 players, so you don't have to have like 4 or 5 people or whatever. But it's called That's You, and it's kind of like a board game party game. And I actually think it would be fun. So this is one that I should give a try with my husband one night when it's like, I don't know, we're like bored and we just put up Netflix. I feel like we should be playing this. Here's a game that everyone says is the best thing on the face of the planet, and I think it's good. That's what I'll say. I think it's really good, but I don't love it. And that is 13 Sentinels, Aegis, whatever. Aegis Rim, whatever. 13 Sentinels, let's just go there. It's good. I really enjoyed it. I would say thumbs up, but it's not a favorite. I'm not out there, preaching the word of 13 Sentinels to everybody. It's just, I don't know. I didn't connect with it the way some people did, because everyone's like, it's the best story in gaming. it's this and that, and like all these amazing things, and I'm just sitting here like, thumbs up, good stuff, but that's kind of it for me. I don't know, just, it didn't blow my mind. Here's another one of my husband's games, and that is Ghost Recon Wildlands. I mean, the game looks really cool. Not really for me, it's not my style. Way too open world for me. But alas, it is here, so I present it to you. Here's the first game I actually got with my PS4. I got the PS4 that was the Uncharted collection, and wow, it actually came with a physical copy of all 3 original Uncharted games on the PS3. Now, I will say I've beat 2 and 3. I never actually beat the first one, so if I did decide to replay it, I would obviously play it on here and not the PS3 version. I don't know why I didn't beat it, but I never did. But I absolutely loved 2 and loved 3, so yeah, this is a nice collection to have, because I just feel like the day I want to replay them, they're here, and I don't have to lug out the PS3. So of course I do have Uncharted 4, and again, fabulous, really great experience. I can't decide which one is my favorite that I've played. Something special about number 2. I don't know. Maybe it's the plane thing. I don't know. I just remember 2 being so memorable, but I also really liked 4. This is a really good series. I love them. They're cinematic and fun. I like Nathan Drake. He's a great character, and I just find them overall just fun. Like, if you want a fun gaming time, I feel like Uncharted fits the bill. Spooky time. We've got Until Dawn, and love this game. I love the replayability of these games, but this one was really great. I think it's better than The Quarry, which I recently beat on PS5, but Until Dawn, fantastic. Spooky, creepy, very icky at times, but it was just a really great cinematic point-and-click kind of horror game. I just loved it. So if you haven't played any of these, highly recommend if that's your genre or you're into those, because this one's really good. The next like 8,000 games that I have to show, man, because I was like, oh man, this is the last, but it's all the same series. I'm sure you can guess by now what it probably is. It starts with a Y. Yeah, it is Yakuza, and I have all of them. So let's get into it. So we've got Yakuza 0, which is the first one I ever played. And funny enough, I asked for this for Christmas, or I think it was my birthday, whatever. I asked for it, and it was more just because people had said it was good. And I thought, okay, kind of looks like Grand Theft Auto, but Japanese. Whoa, not even close to Grand Theft Auto. Do not compare it to that. It's so much more than that. It's just the crime element, I would say, is like related, but it's not even close to that. So it's not Grand Theft Auto in Japan, so don't think that way. Amazing. This is so good. It had me hooked. I put it in the PS4 and I didn't know what to expect, and then I was like, my god, I've found a new favorite. So of course I beat Yakuza 0. It was wonderful. Then I got to Yakuza Kiwami 1. Also amazing. I had such a great time with this. It was pure Yakuza fun. And yeah, I can't recommend this enough. It's great. You gotta just play. You can start with this, but I would start with 0. It's so much more fun to see the origin stories, or the origin story of Kiryu, who's like the main character in Yakuza. Not necessarily anymore, but in all of these he is. So let's go with the next one, which is Yakuza Kiwami 2. Oh my god, another great game. This is fantastic. Highly recommend. And all I can say about these games too is that not only are they wacky and emotional, they're like telenovelas but like Japanese. So think of it that way, like constantly. But this one, I remember had a moment at the very end where you're like, my jaw dropped. Like, it was so epic and exciting. So yes, highly worth it. Then, okay, so let's keep going here. Then we've got the Yakuza Remastered Collection. Woohoo! So this one has Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, which were all PS3 games, and they've remastered them. So I actually, which will be coming up soon, just beat Yakuza 3 Remastered, which is in this collection. So now I will have to get through 4 and 5 in here. And yeah, it's a bit more rough around the edges because it's just a remaster. They didn't completely redo it like the Kiwami ones. But it's really good. Oh my god, it's really good. So, spoiler for my review, I liked it. Obviously, I'm not going to hate a Yakuza game, but it was great, so I can't wait to play more of these. But again, it's a lot, so I try and play one a year. And then let's keep going, because there are more. There are so many of these. So, we've got Yakuza 6. And yeah, I bought these all because I just wanted to have them. So, because I'm getting to them. Trust me, I play my Yakuza games. So yes, it will, it won't be long. I've actually looked this one up specifically, and I cannot wait to get to it. It looks ridiculous. So yeah, I have to get through 4 and 5. Not that I have to get through them. I'm sure they're going to be wonderful. But this one is one I really want to check out. And sorry, I'm spoiling by holding up this one here. Yakuza 6 looks great, obviously. And then Yakuza 7, which is not called that, but it's called Like a Dragon. Ah, so good. One of my favorite games of all time. So with this one, you get a completely new character. And yes, there are references to the old ones and, with like Kiryu and stuff. But the main character here is Ichiban, and he's completely different. He's not related to Kiryu at all. But I think they're just kind of like rebooting it. And to be fair, like as much as I love Kiryu, and I think he's actually one of the best protagonists in video games, period. I will say that sometimes when you have it's not like Super Mario where you can have that continue forever. But like when you have a cinematic, story-heavy game, sometimes it's nice to just retire the character. Like, we've seen it. We're done. I don't want him to become tired and boring. So I get it. It's time for a fresh new face. And oh my god, they nailed it. Yakuza Like a Dragon is one of my favorite games of all time. It's not just one of my favorite PS4 games or whatever. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So it's like my second favorite JRPG of all time, I think. I think it beats Dragon Quest XI. They're very close, and I'm sure if you ask me tomorrow, I might say Dragon Quest XI, and then today I'll say, I don't know. All I can say is it's high up, it's incredible, and it's a must-play. And the best part is if you're like, holy smokes, that's a lot of Yakuza games. Well, you can actually just start here. So, if you want to get into the Yakuza series, know that they are brawlers, so it's a lot of punching and stuff. They're not really JRPGs. They have JRPG elements, but they're not JRPGs. This is a turn-based JRPG. Old school, kind of plays out like Dragon Quest in a way. He loves Dragon Quest. Highly recommend this. And so yeah, if you want the Yakuza style, like the old school way, that the first 7 games are, they are brawlers. They are not turn-based JRPGs at all. This completely changed the formula, and there's a sequel to this coming out next year. Early next year, and I'm like over the moon excited, and it is going to be turn-based, so I'm very excited. But yeah, just know that the first ones, they're all brawlers. They're fighting games, and so you will have like a gang approach you in the street, and you just basically fight them, but you're button mashing and stuff. There's no like selecting what you're gonna do. It's not turn-based. This is. So if you are interested at all in the series, depends on where you want to start. If you just want a JRPG that's fantastic, start here. If you want to just go for it, start with Yakuza 0. So I would go with Yakuza 0 or Like a Dragon, or just play them both. I mean, like, I've played this already because it's fantastic, and I'm working my way up through the rest of them with Kiryu. So we are done. We are done the PS4 collection. So those are all of the games I have for my PS4. Sure, I'm sure over the years I will collect, the odd one here and there. But overall, I feel like it's done. If there's anything you think I should have or recommend, please, of course, recommend it to me. And, my PS5 collection, it's very small but growing. What do I have there? 5 games? Yeah. No, I have 6 because Star Ocean is upstairs. I have 6 games for PS5, so it's getting there. I'm starting. I just got a PS5 last year, so very excited. But the PS4 is kind of done, and while I have games that I am still getting to, obviously, I'm so excited to play. Like, I really want to play Last of Us Part 2. I want to play God of War, blah, blah, blah. There aren't a ton I really want to buy. So if there's something you think I should have that was not here, please tell me in the comments. I would love to know. So that's my PS4 collection video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I thought it would be a fun thing to do just because we're kind of in the PS5 era now. So let's kind of like say goodbye to the PS4. Obviously still play the games, but the PS4 itself is not currently plugged in anymore for me. I hope you guys had a good time with this one. Please subscribe and like, and of course I will see you in my next video.